Thank you, Anna. I'm going to try to do my best tonight to not speed read, as I have a tendency to talk very fast when I get nervous or excited. And at this moment, I am feeling quite a bit of both. Nervous, obviously, to get up in front of so many and share what is very personal. At the same time, excited because I know the power of personal testimony. We see it all throughout the New Testament where the Lord saves and heals, and it is through the personal testimony of those who have been healed that others come to know. I believe the Lord has answered my prayers, and if by stepping out in faith and fear, my story brings some freedom to even one of your lives, marriages, or personal relationships with a loved one, it will have been well worth all the angst. So, somewhere between the 3 M's of life, marriage, motherhood, and menopause, I completely lost sight of who I was. Gradually, without noticing, I had become what everyone else needed and wanted me to be, and was no longer able to even identify with what I wanted or needed for myself. The stresses of motherhood and the changes in my body, both physically and emotionally, along with a struggling marriage, spiraled me into a state of confusion and ultimately depression, leaving me unable to be the person I once was. Over the years, I tried everything, from counseling, antidepressants, chiropractors, nutritionists, fitness trainers, multiple doctors and tests, none of which were able to help me understand the confusion, anxiety, and irritability that had settled into my spirit, creating a hardness about me that was never part of who I was. I gained over 40 pounds and fought against a daily fatigue that left me with a lack of zeal for life that began to make me feel I would never be happy again. 3 years ago, I began volunteering at Guiding Star. I fell in love with the women who worked there and the girls that we served. I grew to trust and respect everything that Guiding Star stood for, especially their deep devotion to treating the body, mind, and spirit of women, and not just the symptoms. I believe the Lord knew that I would need that trust to be open to the unexpected. A little over a year ago, after much prayer, spiritual direction, and much time with our Lord in adoration, I finally received an answer to my many prayers. My friend Anna from Guiding Star began talking to me about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy, which was a new medical procedure that they were just beginning to offer at the center. At first, I was completely against it because I didn't want anything to do with it. I had heard all kinds of negative things about hormone replacement therapy. But many of us know how persistent Anna can be. So she kept at me, and between Anna and Tammy, they took the time to explain to me that, how the hormones that they used in the pellets are compounded to identically match the hormones that our bodies produce, to help to bring the body to optimum levels for a more vibrant life. I always tried to take a holistic approach to my overall well-being, so this was right in line with how I like to care for my body and mind. I agreed to make an appointment with Tammy for a consultation and to have my blood drawn to check where my hormone levels were. When the results of the blood work came back, Tammy confirmed all the symptoms that I had been suffering from were explained by the depleted levels of hormones in my body. She filled me with confidence that I would receive the relief that I was in search of. Over the next couple months, I would begin to realize just how much I had been suffering from the stresses of life and now the onset of menopause. I suddenly felt alive again. The lightheartedness and free spirit that I had when I was 25 was back in full swing. I realized that the confusion, the anxiety, and the irritability that I had been experiencing every day was not part of who I had become. It was because my estrogen and progesterone levels were so low, practically non-existent were the words that Tammy had used. I suddenly felt a gentleness and peacefulness I'm not sure I had ever experienced. I began to sleep through the night, and if I did wake up, I was no longer suffering from nighttime anxiety or hot flashes. My thoughts became clearer. It was like a dark cloud parting, and I began to notice an overall feeling of joy and positivity. My relationship with our children became less of a stressor and more of a joy as I was able to let go of the things I had no control over and embrace their new lives as successful young adults. I began to have the energy and desire to work out again and lost much of the weight that burdened me with insecurities and feelings of unworthiness, allowing me the freedom and confidence to not only want to go places with my husband again, but to begin making the plans myself. The most exciting part of all of this for me was that my husband and I began experiencing a revival of our marriage. By the grace of God and Him answering our many prayers, pellet therapy being one of them, we share an intimacy together that we both feared was long gone and that neither of us would ever experience again in our lifetime. We are a team once again and are looking forward to spending our retirement years together where we once thought we might be spending them apart. I'm so grateful for Guiding Star and their dedication to addressing women's care holistically and for the great love for what they do and for who they do it. I am blessed to be involved with the healing ministry at Guiding Star, and one of the concepts that we teach is that you cannot change someone else's behavior. You can only change your own. If you find yourself identifying with my story tonight as you listen to me, I urge you to take control of what you can change and contact Guiding Star for a simple blood test to determine if you too could be suffering from a hormone imbalance. Don't be fooled by the results your family care physician may have given you. I've learned that a trained practitioner like Tammy considers hormone ranges differently than your family doctor or OBGYN, and they works to raise the levels naturally to a level that most women feel optimal, not for their age, but optimal for a balanced, happy, and healthy life. If you are feeling as though you have tried everything and you just can't seem to break out of the person that you've become, thought patterns that just don't feel like your own, or are in a struggling marriage or relationship, please contact Guiding Star and let them walk you through the process of having your hormones checked before making any big life decisions. Be open to the unexpected. I'm so glad I was. Thank you.